Hi everybody. Okay, so today this is going to be my final project that I'm going to be presenting. The standard that I'm going to be using is SLK1. It's participate in collaborative conversations with diverse partners about kindergarten topics and texts with peers and adults in small or larger groups. It also is to continue the conversation through multiple exchanges. My student objective today is going to be able to conversate about the book that we've read and be able to remember the key points of the book with confidence. So the overview of what I'm going to be doing today is like first we're going to go through the slideshow and remember and review what we've learned about communication through reading. And then you will ask the students to turn to their table partners and they're going to discuss the story that they first read on their own. And then with their whole table, they will talk about the story's main theme. Then you will take the students to the carpet and they will sit in a circle and you will grab the hot potato while they're on their way there. And once they're all seated and quiet and ready to pay attention, they will pass the potato around the circle, sharing their key points that they took away from the book with the class. After all the students are done answering, they are all going to have an exit ticket on the board, and it's going to be to write something that they learned from their partner or group that they didn't think about in the first place when they were reading the book alone. So now I'm going to switch into teacher mode. Okay guys, I know we're all ready to learn today, especially about our conversations that we had yesterday about let's talk about what we read. Is everyone ready to go? Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, good. Everyone's ready to go. Okay, so let's talk about how we read. So this is a review from yesterday. I know we all talked about this yesterday, but we're going to review it one more time because we're going to have a really fun group activity. So we talked about talking and listening, taking our turns, and sharing our thoughts. So with talking and listening, we have conversations with others that it means like listening and talking when we share our stories and thoughts on both talking and listening important ideas. So when we're taking turns, we take turns when we talk. Each of you gets a chance to share your thoughts out loud with the group. And this shows kindness and ensures that everyone can join in the fun conversation so no one feels left out. Because raise your hand if you want to feel left out. I didn't think so. No one does. And sharing your thoughts. You can share your thoughts and ideas during the conversations you have with your friends. By telling your thoughts to them, they can learn something that you didn't know before. And that is super fun to learn things that we didn't think we knew before. Next, we're going to talk about why we talk about stories. Why is it important that we talk about the things we read? Anyone have an idea? Yes, that is going to be it. So we talk about things to have a really good memory about them. So when we are talking about stories, it gives us, we learn things again that we never did before, especially from other people's opinions. So remembering stories, we can also learn from our friends and share what we've liked. It's really important to share what we've liked, especially when we're talking about stories and recollecting them. Talking about stories helps us remember the whole entire story. When we discuss what we read, we reinforce our memories and make connections to what we have read. And you may hear something that you didn't read before. Next, we can learn from our friends, which is talking to our friends allows us to learn from them, and hear others makes us understand and helps us learn new ideas about the stories that we've already read. So also, share what we've liked. We always can share what we like to people. We have to be respectful about what our boundaries are for sharing those ideas and opinions that we have about the stories. But as long as you feel it's appropriate, it's very fun to share. Next, we're going to talk about how we can listen. Perfect. How we can listen. Give your full attention to the person speaking. That's super important. And especially like when I'm talking, you should give the person as much respect as you give me. So when someone is talking, it's important to look at them, and this shows that you're interested and care about what they're saying. Eye contact, just like I tell you all the time, is super important to hold conversation and to give respect to the person who's talking. Keep your hands still. I know we all like to fidget. We have our fidget toys that we play with at certain times during the day, but when we are fidgeting, we're not paying attention. So let's make sure we have our hands on our laps, crisscross applesauce, and then we are paying attention to the person speaking. Thinking about what they're saying. don't just want to think, we want to understand. So if you don't understand what somebody is trying to give their opinion on, ask. It's really amazing to ask questions that you didn't know before. So it also shows respect to the person sharing. If that means you want to understand what they're saying more, and that just shows how much you care about them and their opinion. And next, we're going to share, what does sharing our ideas look like in the classroom? So use your kind words. We always talk about our kind words in the classroom. We have our kind words poster over on the left-hand side of the classroom. And using those kind words helps everyone feel valued and not rejected during their storytelling. When we choose our words carefully, we show our friends that we care about their ideas and their opinions. And then taking turns. It's important that we take turns while sharing your ideas. This speaks and it gives you a chance to be spoken and heard. And it also helps everyone feel respected and happy to give feedback, so everyone is united as one front. Also, use your voice. It's important to use your voice. If you have an opinion, share it as long as it's respectful. Speaking in a clear voice helps everyone understand what your thoughts are and better. When we describe our ideas clearly, we encourage our friends to listen and respond thoughtfully. So next, I'm going to have you guys turn to your partners at your table, and we're going to have partner talk time. We are going to share our favorite books about the story. I know you've already read your story on your own, but we're going to turn to our partners, and we're going to talk about that. So if you'll turn and face your partners, tell them your favorite parts, listen to their favorite parts, and understand what their parts are. If you have questions, ask. And if you're confused, ask them. They will always share their opinions back with you. So they're going to go and they're going to share their opinions, and then we're going to move on. I'm going to go back in teacher mode. Okay, guys. Fingers on your nose. Good job. Fingers on your head. Good job. Everyone, hands up, hands down, and your lap. Good job. Okay, so we're going to have a small group sharing session. So not just with your table partner, but with your entire table. We're going to talk about the book and what you and your partner talked about. Maybe something you had a question on or something you didn't think about. So I'm going to have y'all turn and share to your friends. Everyone's going to take turns speaking. If I do hear some conversations that are not about this topic, I will be coming over and talking to you. Share your favorite parts, listen to each of them carefully, and if you have any questions, please ask. Okay, guys, take it away. Okay, so they're going to go and they're going to talk with their table partners, and then I'm going to switch back into teacher mode. Okay, guys, hands on your nose, hands on your shoulders, hands up, hands down, and your lap. Okay, good job. Is everyone ready to have their listening ears on? Touch your ears if you're ready. Good job. Okay, so now we are going to share our thoughts, and then what do we do after we share our thoughts and we ask those questions? If you're confused, please ask those questions. It's important. Also, if you both, your whole table, your partner, if you do not seem to understand what the person is asking, please let me know. I would love to help out. And adding your thoughts into those opinions that someone else is giving, it's important to keep the conversation going, guys. So we want to keep the person in front of us that we're talking to in conversation with us, and making sure we're both sharing our own opinions thoughtfully and respectfully. And then if you disagree, do it kindly. It's important to express our opinions kindly. Agreeing politely or disagreeing helps everyone learn the different perspectives while keeping it thoughtful and respectful and kind for everyone. So whole class talk, I'm gonna have everybody go to the carpet. So if y'all want to stand up and go to the carpet, I'm gonna grab hot potato, and we are gonna do our whole class talk while we all share our thoughts together. So one person speaks at one time, listening carefully to others, and build on the classmates' ideas using encouraging words and phrases. Okay, so everybody go to the carpet, sit in a circle, and I will be there in just a few minutes, okay? Okay, so that's gonna be their time where you would take them to the carpet. You're gonna give them the hot potato, starting right to go left. And they're gonna each get a chance to ask questions about maybe someone who wasn't at their table, or they're going to be able to ask questions about their own topic, saying like, well, I thought about this, but would this work with that topic as well? And you're going to be able to help them out with that. Then it's going to be more directions that pass the potato. It's just you will get a partner and read a short story, all the jazz that I've already talked about. And I think that's gonna be it. So then we're gonna close it out by what we've learned. So let me pull that up. So with a closer look at our lesson that we've done today, we started off the lesson by reviewing what we have learned about how we conversate about something that you've just read. We worked on in class how to share your thoughts and feelings about something that you've read. Then you split up into partners and you did the same thing. You came to a mutual agreement on one of those things that you've agreed on when you read the book. And lastly, you're working independently on creating some of your own ideas that you never thought about in the book that you've read. So their exit ticket is going to be, I might have already talked about that, but their exit ticket is going to write on the board something they've learned from their partner that they didn't think about from the book alone reading. So they're going to have everybody come to the board and they're going to write that, and that will be the closure of the lesson. So thank you for listening, and I really enjoyed this class this year. So have a good Merry Christmas.